This week's coffee is going to be the Rwanda, Sakoff, Rulindo, Bourbon. Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug, episode 182, and I'm aiming for another quick, entertaining, sharp, snappy In My Mug. Last week I never made it to Dublin, so thank you for all the kind wishes about the race, but I actually never got there because of umpteen things in life happening. But this weekend I am doing a marathon in Sunderland, which cannot be upset by aeroplanes or other such work type things, and with it being a bank holiday I am going to do it whatever. So I have an early start in the morning, some editing to do tonight, so I'm going to dive straight into talking about the coffee, and it's a short one. So I'd like to introduce a coffee that we already have on the site, but kind of. So we had this coffee as a Cup of Excellence lot this year from this year's Rwandan competition. Now it's a kind of strange story why we have the one that you are tasting with us now. So last night I sat down to do the write-up for this coffee. We bought it Monday, shipping on us Tuesday, arrived today, writing up the description. And I swear to you this was a complete surprise to me, but the coffee we'd agreed to buy was actually one that we'd cut blind on the cupping table. Every sample that comes through the door, and I've talked to you about this before on In My Mug, every sample that comes through, we cut blind, we look at it on its merits and decide whether we're going to buy it or not. This one just had a cupping code, so approved it, emailed the importer, said, right, this is the cupping code, can you release it to me, can you send me the farm info or mill info, and that's what they did. And I do it, I file it, wait until the coffee comes, doing the write-up last night. So doing the write-up, I know this name, Rulindo. We've had this for the past 6 weeks, and it is a Cup of Excellence lot that we bought, and now we have a normal lot. I felt it kind of vindicated the approach that we have to coffee. So, like, by cupping them blind, you just find tasty coffees, and this was a great, as I say, made me feel really proud of what we do. And it's a very similar cup to what we're having, but just like the Rulindo that we had from Cup of Excellence, we don't know so much about it. I know it's from the northwest of Rwanda, from the Rulindo region, and it's grown by smallholders or garden growers who take their coffee along to this washing station and sell it. And it gets blended together and they sell it from the mill. And each lot can taste slightly different. I do know it's a Bourbon, as most of the coffee from Rwanda is Bourbon. I know it's a fully washed coffee, which means it is a proper fully washed, submerged in water, underwater fermentation, which is very typical for Rwandan, and gives it that typical Rwandan cup profile. But that's it. That's all we know. So we should do some numbers. The farm, well, the mill is called Sakoff Rulindo. It's a cooperative, so there's no farmer or person. The nearest city is Gakenki. There we go. Northern Rwanda, altitude between 1,800 and 2,200 metres. That's it. So, no map bit again this week for obvious reasons, because I'm rushing about and trying to get ready. I promise I will get back on the horse in my map bit next week. But here's a quick map dropped on top to show you where it is in Rwanda, to get you an idea of where that washing station is. So, mini map bit. Map bit. No expense spent. Okay, so now time to bring out the Wheel of Death. And this week's Wheel of Death is Siphon Brewer. Now, this is just what I need on a time when I'm rushing. So, out there, you don't know where out there is, but it's out there. Roland is currently making me my siphon, so we can whiz straight into it and kind of come back and record it. But siphon brewing is something that I really like. It was kind of something it caught my attention very early on in my coffee career because it looks so scientific and kind of labby-like. But it's a great way of making brewed coffee. I should slow down. No, don't slow down, speed up. So yeah, it's a great way of making coffee, and I just think it's a very enchanting way, and it can kind of get a good conversation starter for the uninitiated in coffee. So anyway, I'm going to whack you on pause. I'm going to go and ask Roland if he's made my brew for me, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Right, so I'm back. I am going to drive. No, I'm going to dive straight into the espresso. So now, this is weird, because the espresso, the Cup of Excellence one, I felt was a little unbalanced, and I actually put in the description, don't think this is for espresso, because the acidity was much more, and it lacked a little bit of the sweetness. But what happens with this one, now you've got to remember the Cup of Excellence, lots of hand selected out, I'm talking with my hands again, but they're hand selected out, so they will find something that they think will win a Cup of Excellence, and something that has lots of acidity and lots of fruit will tend to do better in a Cup of Excellence. For me, I prefer my coffees to be a little bit sweeter with some acidity, and it's full. I mean, it's full of acidity. So you're getting a very bright, very kind of like lemon and kind of just very, very fruity. But on the back, there's the honey, which is there as well, and I get this honey. But I get this sweetness, and the sweetness I've come up with, I found in the brewed as well, which will be coming in a minute, which was like icing. So you know, like if you get a cupcake and you get like that soft icing on top of a cupcake, so it's really like thick and sweet and overly sweet, like really sweet. But then you've got like a lemon cupcake underneath, and this is kind of like a lemon cupcake, which is a good thing because I like cupcake. Not that athletes are allowed to eat cupcake. So let's dive into the milk. So in the milk, it's a little light. It's a little gentle for the milk. But what does happen is that acidity, which I didn't like in the espresso, the Cup of Excellence one, and is still in this one, cuts through. So you get that acidity coming through. You get a little bit of floral, a little bit of like coffee blossom, jasmine, and that comes through into the milk, which I like a lot. So I have a new mug. This is from Bill Pearson, who is he put me his card inside, look, of goodfoodshops.blogspot.com. Thank you, Bill. And keep calm and drink coffee. I'm not keeping calm because I don't have a siphon. Oh, look, here comes Roland with the siphon. I'm going to come towards the camera. Thank you, Roland. Everything is slick on in my mug. You should know that. Look at the timing. So, keep calm and drink coffee, which is good advice. I think everybody should follow that. I do like the siphon. I mean, the Harry O siphon was a game changer for me. I love the Konas. So my first delve into siphon coffee was with the Konas, with the glass stoppers. I became so frustrated with them because the stopper jams a lot of the time. So on the empty, glass stopper will jam. You end up with a over extracted brew. Whereas these came along, and I hadn't seen them until kind of 6-7 years ago with cloth filters. I just thought all siphons were glass stoppers, and yeah, just love them, absolutely love them. Now, Cup of Excellence lot is £9 a bag. This is £5 a bag. So massive difference. Is there a 40, if 80-90% poorer cup than the Cup of Excellence? Not at all. Like in here, you get, it's very hot, but you get all of that acidity, you get the floral, you get the honey, you get the mouthfeel, it's thick and gloopy, it's lovely, but that sweetness for me just makes this a better cup than the Cup of Excellence. Now, I'm sure lots of Cup of Excellence jurists will disagree with me, but this has just got a sweeter edge, and I love sweetness in my coffee. That for me is what can make, that's a killer one for me. If a coffee isn't sweet, I'm kind of like, which is a bit weird because I don't really have a sweet tooth after, even though all this talk of cupcakes, I do like savoury. Right, I'm going to stop rambling. I am going on. We should talk about numbers. So it is called Rulindo, Rwandan Rulindo Bourbon. It's a cooperative coffee. Nearest city to the place is Gakenki. Gakenki. Probably wrong. It's the northwest region of Rwanda, and it is an altitude of 1,800 to 2,200 metres, and a Bourbon, and is delicious, and I insist that you try it. If the Cup of Excellence pushed it out of your pocket reach, this is a great reason to try it. We have some interesting coffees coming up in the next couple of weeks. It's an exciting time. Coffees are gonna start arriving. I've got one arriving next week, and providing, fingers crossed, we can nail the roast. I think you'll like a lot. So yes. Anyway, time to finish. Life is too short for bad coffee. Stephen Layton, 2012.